peace, power, and love sent from above, from the galaxies, the universes. Here again, once again, as the breath of life is allowed in our temples, the energy of the Creator has allowed us to once again before the sunrise present us with Blackanized international Nubian consciousness, conscious chess moves. Humam Abdulmalik, your host, with words of motivation, words of enlightenment, words of admonition from the chambers of the pyramid of my mind. Well, it's the consciousness of the universe. From the universe of our my universe. But anyway, I just want to start off by saying I had a great day yesterday. I was cleaning up my community. I didn't finish it because I had a couple more errands to run, and then it got kind of too cold. It wasn't too cold. It was too cold for me because I ain't had the right equipment on. But it's no excuse. I got to finish it. It's a project that I started, so I got to finish it. But I just felt so good cleaning up my community, trying to beautify it. Because it's a nice community. Wherever we live is nice, it's beautiful, because we got to beautify it. See, they say that we be in a ghetto and we be in a projects and all that, but all that is a state of mind. Because wherever you be at, see, I'll say this, a ghetto is a ghetto wherever you get to go. But if you treat it like a paradise, keep it clean, then that's what it be. See, we can't let people validate us like we do in this realm that we find ourselves in the dimensions of life that we find ourselves in. We have to control it. I think I feel good also because I made a concoction last night, right, for the first time. I juiced a carrot, an onion, and a lemon, but the ginger was kind of dry. But that lemon and that onion, shoo, boy, it went in me. I mean, I thought I was getting dizzy, and I felt it go in and just come in through my system and like irrigation or something. I felt it. I kind of feel it right now, you know. You got that good feeling that like it's a rejuvenation. And also another thing rejuvenated me yesterday was I ran into a beautiful elder, oracle, priestess, matriarchy, melaninated queen. And, you know, I was just talking in the post office, right? And me and her talking, I was saying things. She said, yeah, you're right. Then she like, talk louder so everybody can hear you. You know, it wasn't funny, but it was some serious talk. It's like we talking now. So I kept on talking, and she said, that's right. But you got to talk a little loud so that all of them can hear you, because what you're saying is the truth and all that, right? So I did that, but I didn't raise my voice. I just talked, but I was being heard, right? But so that was so inspirational to me, right? So I couldn't do what I had to do or was trying to do in the post office. So I went to the Safeway, and I was standing in line trying to do that. And guess what? She came right in there, and I was talking to a brother, talking the same talk. Information, excuse me 1 second. Excuse me. Excuse me. I want to, have inspirational lyrics. First was Living Our Life Like We Bulletproof in Our Communities by Raheem Devon. And this one is a war going on. And the war going on is our youth at war with each other. For what reason? They be neighbors across the street from each other, grew up with each other, know each other, but it's a war of I don't know, it's a war of I got a little more than you, or this money ain't right, or I don't like the way you looked at my girl, or whatever. It's a war by design, because our young warriors are under robot control and don't even know it. Let me get back to my sister, though. Then I'll come back there. So I'm in the Safeway talking, and then she came back in there and was in the line behind me. I was talking to the guy, then I looked up and seen her, and we smiled at each other. She said, told the dude to listen to him, and the dude said, I am, and because what he's saying is the truth, and this and that and all that. And it just inspired me again, you know, for someone, an elder, to say that. And I think she was she was in the church as a reverend or something that she dealt with. But it inspired me and motivated me, because I'm speaking as I always speak, you know, speaking the truth. But this elder, oracle, priestess, matriarchy, queen, kind of, you know, gave me motivation to keep it up. She said, don't you stop talking. You got to keep on talking, because the people got to hear you, you know, and not in arrogance or egocentric or being self-centered, because I live a life of humble in all humility. But it's just, you know, motivating for someone to say that to you, and you know that you speak the truth from the pathways of your ancestors and by divine decree, because this is what you proclaim. You submitted your will to this energy that we call many names, but we know there is an intelligent energy that started all this existence off, that always was and always will be, and I'm a part of it. We're a part of it. So, and I challenge myself to stay focused. I challenge myself to be what I say I am. You know, I just don't talk it, I walk it, I think it, I sleep it. I wake up every morning with this on my mind to speak into this program that I am dealing with, because I have an opportunity to speak to an audience, my brothers and sisters, some conscious and some not conscious. And the ones that's conscious, all we doing is shopping each other still. We each one reaching one, each one teaching one. No matter what I know, how little I know, or how much I know, I don't know it all, but I'm seeking it all, because I want to know it all. So when I deal with any situation or circumstance, and I can say something about it that's going to be on point. You know, that's why I study. You know, that's why I read our story, so I'll know our story. See, I'm not confined in 2017 years. This is the Eurocentric Roman calendar. I'm not confined in their concept of time. I'm going beyond that time. I'm going back to our time. It's 6,000 something years, but only from that point. I just don't go to just that point. I go beyond that point. I want to go back to the time what they say they found Lucy. That's 1 million years ago. I want to go back to Pangaea, when there was no time, when the whole continent or every continent was together. I want to go back before that, when there was nothing. We were ethereal bodies. We didn't have this mass dense temple. I want to go back in time to when we was spiritual beings or something like that. I want to go back in time where we were conscious. I want to go back in time where we were part of the energy of the Creator, what they call God, Allah, Jah, whatever the name or the definition that they give or we give to this intelligent energy, this matriarchic source that all life come through. We can't define it. We can't describe it. We can just feel it. We can feel it in us. Oh, man. I hope y'all hear what this sister and they talking about in the background, too. Because this the war that this government, you know, like, they manifest. Because this government is like war Mongols. That's what they thrive on. Their story is based on that. Look at this story. This retrace the story of this country, or these people, not this country, the people that took this country. This deal at their history. Look at their history. All the wars they've been in. And all the things that they've done. Yeah. See, they want us to emulate them and be like them. They want us to sell our souls. They want us to be like Negro pins or under robot control or walk around with our eyes wide shut. They want us to believe his lies and not our story. That's why they want us confined in 2017 years. The information, they're conquestors. That's right. I hear you. And brother Galen Coles is like saying things, and I'm not responding to you, but I'm sure reading them, my brother. And we can't, like you say, be complicit criminals. The door has opened. And I appreciate you getting up on this morning, this great morning where the creators gave us that breath of life to be motivated. Because the war is going on. The war hasn't stopped since we've been integrated into this system. Not only here, but around the world. Since they first came in to our city or our communities. I'm talking about way back when the Hysox come in, the Greeks come in, then the Romans come in, all that. See, and that war been going on since that time. A war for our minds, our bodies, and our souls. They stole our information, took our information of us, took it over to Vatican and put it in their tunnels and all that. And they try to use it in their secret societies, the York Rites and the Scottish Rites, the Knights Templar of Solomon. We got to know that the Kabul states exist. We got to know that this is a corporation. We got to know that this is a corporate world. We got to know that we got to cooperate in it. We got to know that we got to unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure here. We got to understand who we are as a divine people, you know, and understand our natures, our emotional, the sciences of our being. We got to understand that. We got to understand it so we can understand it to overstand it. It's just an all-encompassing knowledge that we got to acquire. We just can't deal with the five senses because they manipulate our five senses. We got to enhance our energy centers, the chakras. We got to understand that sciences. And the kundalini, our spinal cord. And our crown chakra where the energy in us. And our young brothers wearing them dreads. That's antennas. Our hair is like antennas, man. From that sunlight, they trying to block off with the chemtrails. And the chemtrails not only like drop chemicals down that are absorbed in our bodies or whatever. It's also a grid that they're trying to put up there to block the sunlight. It seems like it's science fiction, but it's science faction. These people are gone mad. They got this machine called a HOP. I got to get the next time I talk, we'll get the acronym of that word, HOP. But it's a machine they got to affect the weather. I knew something was up when that big old the brothers mentioned about the Caucasian Jesus terrorist people is confrontate or control through corrupt manipulation. You right about that, brother. It's a social engineering. Social engineering coming from the social narcotics of white supremacy and institutionalized racism through the use of this European Jesus and like Jesus. The word itself is a word that they created out of thin air because the J didn't come out to the 15 or 1600s. So back during the Nicene Council of 325 AD, when they created this Trinity, stemming from our knowledge of Asar, Aset, and Hebrew, they took out the woman, the matriarchic aspect of creation, and put in the Holy Ghost, or Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and took out the matriarchic aspect and put in the patriotic aspect, because the men came and controlled the European, the Eurocentric Niagara took control. And they wanted to take out that aspect of our being that gave us substance, that gave us balance. They destroyed our information of Ma'at. They destroyed that and took a portion out of it and said, this is going to be the 10 Commandments. We're going to have to live our life by. Then they put on all this Bible that they put in this Bible, which they call the Bible. And then, oh, brother, you can't keep going doing that, man. We know that these brothers, that's Brother Galen Coles, we having an interactive conversation, sort of. He made another statement, which is true. He talked about homosexuality over the heterosexuality, which is the reality. And that's what that does when you say Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, because the woman is not in that picture. The woman is the canal of life that all life come through. And that natural process we see today. So that natural process that came into being comes through our sisters, the matriarchic queen. And we got to realize that. That's why we got to hold our queen in high esteem. She is a goddess, the creator of all life with us. You know, it takes nothing away from the man. The man and the woman got to come together. There got to be that connection of a ma'at, so that we can bring in eternal life, like the Ankh. The Ankh depicts the picture of that. You got the Yani, you got the Fearless, and you got the birth, when them two come together to create eternal life. But they took that, they stole the Ankh off the walls of ancient Kemet, and they took the woman out the picture. They took the Yani out the picture and made this a Fearless and tried to do this here, but it doesn't represent life. How can you create life with male together? You need male and female to come together to create life. That's a natural law. That's a divine law. And whatever took place in the beginning is still the process now. And we gotta realize that. I say salam alaikum to brother Salim. He just came in or been in, but I just found out that he's watching. And whoever watching, I say, I will peace into our lives. I will unity into our lives. And I pray that we become unified, because prayer is power and power is prayer. It's like Ashe, we got to will this into being. That's what Ashe means, will this thing into being. And I know you watching, Kaylin. Oh, that's a Facebook letting me know who watching. But anyway, we have to will things into being through our inner verse and our understanding. That's why we have to study, because that's what it's about. Because they say, and it is a truth, that knowledge is power. And see, we got to harness this power to overcome the indoctrination that we've been going through. It's like a revolution around the sun is how we acquire experience. Some of us being here for a while, a few revolutions, but we still here by the blessing and the protection of the Creator and the ancestors, and way we carry our lives, that we are protected. Whatever our aura be, because people see the light of the warriors that we be, the sisters that's conscious and the brothers that's conscious, and the humble and and all humility. I mean, we got a lot of conscious people, but to me, you know, your language and your dress, it promotes who you be. You know, I know I cuss, right? But I ain't gonna be cussing like I'm talking to you, talking to us, because this is a talk of importance. So my vulgar language that I may possess, that I be trying to control, I don't do that, you know. Even when I write poetry and stuff like that, I don't cuss in it because the vulgar language is not needed. We have to purify our language, purify our thoughts, you know. I mean, when I'm around certain people, we get into joking or whatever, but we have to, with our knowledge, we have to, when we conveying this knowledge, we don't need to be so vulgar. I love my brother, little young brother, right? Brother Pharaoh, brother very knowledgeable. I'm gonna say I don't care what people say about him. I don't care what people say like about brother, what his name is, Salty. He cussed too, you know, but they're knowledgeable. I like, you know, and I like the information, you know, and like the information got to be expressed in a way that it can be accepted by all. Because you be, with the vulgar language, you turn off somebody like an elder or something. And I ain't no elder, I'm forever young. But I be turned off, but I don't turn off because the information is potent, you know. If we just take that vulgar language out of it, it would be more sweeter, more like some honey, you know, some honey and some molasses, not some honey and some defecation. In that sense, you know, we want to have that purity of it in that sense. That mixture got me feeling good. I might try, even though it ain't taste good. And then it was affecting me just like that. As soon as I drunk it, again, the mixture was a carrot, onion, and what else? And what else I have in there? Carrot, onion, and I think it was a ginger or something. Oh, a lemon, that's right. And it just went in, you know, it went in. So as soon as I drunk it, I felt it in my heart and all that. And I felt it in my stomach working and in my head, you know, like I kind of got almost dizzy. And I was like, man, what? Ooh, you know, but I feel good right now. I feel good because we in this realm today. We in a political climate in global warming, so they say, or whatever. And the control that they have over the universe and all that. But I feel good because we still here. And we got people that's doing something about it. Teaching our youth how to be entrepreneurs. We got to teach our youth about business and about managing money. We have to do that. Oh, man, the brother that said word is power is important. Word is made like a sword. It is. See, the word is to convey the truth, that truth of our divine nature, of the universe, understanding who we are, that creative energy that's in us, that stardust, the evidence that's in our DNA, and all we have to do is like plug into it, you know, put that socket into it, put that mind, that thinking into who we are so that we can become who we are. We can walk who we are and be the word that we speak. The word is powerful. So we are powerful. We are powerful people, and we got to connect to each other in the synergy, the vibrations, and the frequencies of peace and harmony, and the God-like energy, so we can take on the personality in our dealing with each other, overcome our animalistic nature, our predatory nature that be manipulated by those that control the universe through the social narcotics of what they teach us and the apparatus like this Facebook apparatus. People use it for the wrong purpose, you know, to show how good they can fight or just this fight to be seen or what. Like, it ain't about that. It's a tool. See, when things be going on like what they be doing, it's spontaneous. We can be right there. I used to look at this thing, man. I used to see the police. It might be one police or it might be two police. And they be down there with their backs turned, beating up somebody. It'd be people with phones talking about it all around the situation. Be for real. In these times, if you don't have a revolutionary mentality, you're going to be dealing with fatality. Because in the reality, if they're not conscious of what's going on around them, and they beating your brother or your sister, you got at least 2 minutes to do something. I mean, you got at least 10 or 5 minutes to act upon that situation. There's only you there and they're there. And they ain't paying no attention. And what you got the phone. You taking pictures. Taking pictures. Why they may take the life of that person, or they might cripple that person, or whatever they're doing. They're at a disadvantage. So when people like that are at a disadvantage, you be at advantage. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying holistically, I'm saying we got to get to that point of mind and point of proactive in our environment, because it's a war going on, truly, and the war is against us. We have to be revolutionary in our disposition. We have to be revolutionary in the conditions of our mind. We're totally at a disadvantage unless we enhance our spiritual energy, and the Creator bless us in this day and time, in this age of Aquarius, as everybody becoming awoke, awakening, whatever you want to call it, third eyes open and more enhanced in our religions or way of life or whatever. But we need a power, eternal power. We need something to offset the people we dealing with. We have to deal with, see, we dealing with drones. We got to face the reality. We dealing with somebody might be sitting in California playing a game, it seems like, a computer game. He can operate a drone all the way over here. We won't see it coming, be coming out the air. Not only that, they got other weapons that they haven't brought in society a lot. They got weapons that just deal with sound and ultraviolet energy and all that. They haven't used that on us yet. But this is what we're up against. So that's why we got to be organized. We got to be unified. We got to have an infrastructure. And the thing about it, the thing about this world or this society or this entity that's dealing against us, see, a lot of us is in it. A lot of us sit at the controls. It's not just the Niagara. See, it's those that suffer from that social narcotics, whether they be us, Latinos, whatever nationality. That's what they do when people, since the beginning of time or since civilization been in, it's always when you conquer somebody, you incorporate them into your army. And that's what's here happening in the United States of hypocrisy. We're going to be dealing with ourselves a lot. Then we got to deal with, agent provocateurs, like the Black Panthers had all those agent provocateurs. Malcolm had them, King had them. We got them today. And the sad thing about it, right, people know that they are agent provocateurs and still working for their agency and be within the group. And I mean, that might, to me, that's madness or something. I look at it like this. If you are agent provocateur working for us within the system, then that's good. But you cannot be an agent provocateur working for the system. You cannot. Can't be no more of that. Not in this war that's being waged against us. We got to know where we stand. We can't straddle the fence. We do things before for a job, right, and living well and getting good salaries and all that. But with this political climate we're in now, if you can't see the light of that institutionalized white privilege and the racism, you just really walking around with your eyes wide shut and sold your soul. You know, those who, oh brother, you hitting it right on the, I mean, you knocking home runs, right? The brother mentioned the spook who sat by the door. I tell you now, that be the truth, but we need it on a large scale. But we just need warriors. We need spiritual warriors. We need warriors that's committed to our social development. We need warriors to be wanting to plant seeds of education so our youth can relearn. We need to reach our youth psychic, reach their heart. And you also mentioned about the flu shots and stuff like that. I mean, those vaccinations is how they put stuff in us, viruses and all that. It does don't affect us right there, but it look like it'd be like a time capsule type thing. They affected people with the HIV virus. They put swine flu. That's a virus. Everything that we acquire is made in the laboratory of these mad scientists by orders of the emperors. The emperors that sat in the Senate is based on a Roman philosophy. You know, this whole system from the Vatican on down. Oh yeah, they got genetic modified. Is the GMO deal with the food and stuff. But we have all this knowledge. We have all this information. We got to put it out. We got to reach our youth right now, because our youth is the next generation of leaders. And we have a lot. We have a lot of young people that's very intellectual, very spiritual, and they're open for the truth. They're in the truth. They're in the doorway of truth. They just got to be stimulated more, motivated more in the essence of who we are as a people. And the truth comes from within. It comes from study, but the truth is already in us, in our DNA, naturally. So we are naturally divine beings. We just got to connect with it. We got to overcome their indoctrination because we're in their system under their rules and regulations. But we got to establish our own education and our own indoctrination based on our spirituality. That's African spirituality. We have to go black beyond 215, 217. Because in that time period, a big chunk of it, that we was in captivity and we were beaten, murdered, raped, and robbed of everything that we had. Our language, our religion, our culture. But we were strong, divine people. That's why we still here. That's why we still have the knowledge of who we are. But we got to put it out there because we still go to their institutions of learning. We got to establish our own institutions of learning. We have a few African-centered schooling, but we got to have more. We got to establish a landmass in these states of the United Snakes of hypocrisy. Just like the nation of Islam be saying, we want some land, our own land. But people say if you go that, we go there, they can come and get us. If we defend ourselves, if we can do what we do within what we do now, when our young warriors, be on them corners and stuff like that, for them the few hours that the police ain't there, the slave catchers ain't there, they in control of that situation. But not only that, we got to pool our resources. The Oprah, I say it again, our athletes, our movie stars, our rappers, and Oprah Winfrey's and Tyler Perry and Mayweather and all those people with them huge, enormous wealth that they have, almost billionaires and all that. Intimate domain. This brother that's popping this morning. That's right. Talking about the intimate domain which we are in. Also that we got to worry about being collateral damage on the same token. But we got to pool our resources so we can establish the things that we're talking about. We know what harm us. And the biggest thing is ourselves. See, we be drinking liquor to feel different, to be off balance. For what? Why you want to be off balance? We get high for the euphoric feeling. I can't say nothing about marijuana, because that's a herb that has medical properties that can help us medically. I won't say nothing bad about that. I don't do it because I've done it before, and I just stopped since '85 dealing with any type of intoxicants, drinking, smoking cigarettes, or anything like that. So I can't return back to it. I mean, even though marijuana is not harmful, I don't even want to deal with any substance in my system, because I'm purifying my temple so I can be, susceptible to the energy that comes down, the melanin and that stimulates the pituitary and the pineal gland. I want that to be that river of melanin to run fluent in me, in my universe, so that I can enhance my knowledge of who I am and myself, why I'm still in this dimension, in this realm. I want to be productive. I want to be I want to purify my temple. That's why I don't eat no more flesh, no flesh at all. I'm just on fruit and vegetables. And that's what I want to do. I want to live in that way to be who I claim I be, and be more helpful, be an example, when you see me or be around me, you're going to see something different about me. I think the brother Hakeem Matabuta say he had a poem that pertained to that when you see these brothers, you will know they're different, because there's going to be something different about them that you can tell. It's the aura. See, we can't, if we're not in tune, we still feel it or see that energy. And that's a reality. So you got to be an example of what you say, what you talk. And I be an example of love of my people, because I am a race man. I'm not racist. I'm a race man. I love my people more than anything, And I say we got to get ourselves together, because we always integrating and assimilating. Integration was a trick upon us. It was good when we were separated for these people, but at that time we didn't have not all of us had the backbone to stand up and, deal with this entity, this Niagara, and his horrendous behavior against us. But now we able to stand up. We was able to stand up before, because it was pockets of us that they didn't tell us about, because we allowed them to teach us his story or his lies. But we the indigenous and aborigines of the whole planet, but here in America, we always resisted their capitalistic approach of taking and hoarding and all that. They don't tell you nothing about the Seminole Native Americans, which was us. They don't tell you about the Blackfoots, which was us. They don't tell you about that we was here first and the so-called Native American was us. They don't tell you that all them Indians that they killed all was us, along with the mixture of the so-called Native American today, to get that melanin, from this hue here and darker to the red and reddish hue. But it was us. But see, they don't teach us about the resistance of our resistance of their onslaught, or they're trying to establish their way of life upon us. It started in like the Everglades of Florida and all the way to the West Coast. We got to understand who we are and what we about. We got to reach our youth, the young warriors across the country, the young adults. I'm talking about we got to reach us so that other people can reach their factions. The Latinos and us, or even the Europeans, you know, because they suffer from this social narcotics too. But the Nagathors and everybody, I'm not worried about them. I'm not even worried about us, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned, and my love and my fixture or fixing or being a part of development is for us. My love is for us. It's just a natural inclination. Man, I hope I'm saying something that we can reach each other. You know, these seeds of being planted in our consciousness and subconscious, so we can rise up more and be ready for whatever energy, divine energy, to come down to make us more strengthened and more insightful, more enlightened. But we need a divine energy to deal with the mechanism of what these people have, these warmongers, you know. Because if we don't, it's going to be a total onslaught. We probably can deal with the bang, 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 them guns and all that, but they got stuff they got laser stuff. You know, they got sound waves that mess with our psychic, or, you know, they got stuff that can burn us up and all that. They got the drones and all that. They got the satellites up in there that can see everything that we're doing. This is what we're against. So we got to develop something spiritually that can deal with the physicality in this realm. We got to, you know. And, you know, I will this. I say, Ashe. I will the will of the Creator to give us some power to deal with our adversary, our natural enemy. But first, we got to purify our temple. We got to change our thoughts and thought ways. We got to connect to this divine energy on the pathway of our ancestors, because our ancestors left everything for us to enhance ourselves. And when we go to their institutions of learning, we should not go there to get a job. We should go there to be producers, to create jobs, to be entrepreneurs. We got to teach our children how to manage money, how to invest money, because it's all about a corporation. And we got to cooperate and develop that mindset of being business minded, dealing with money, even though it's fraudulent money, promissory notes. That's why we gotta be entrepreneurs, and we gotta develop this system that we have an infrastructure, and the Wall Streets once again. We got to develop that nationwide, worldwide, really. We got to come out of our mental slavery, or our slave mentality, and connect with those that have a colonized mentality. The same thing, different words. But the only thing that those brothers that's over there on the continent, where every mineral on the world needs, every mineral that's under that earth over there in Africa. So if we can unite with those brothers and deal with overcoming a slave mentality and a colonized mentality, and develop that divine mentality and mindset, and come into unity worldwide through our natural divine connection, we can control the world again. But we have to deal with this mad scientist that then stole all our secrets, stole all our information and got it under the Vatican in the tunnels, miles of tunnels, got our information there, you know, and then killed off a lot of our priests and priestess, and took a lot of information that they turn and say that is evil, and we don't even want to practice it. We don't even want to practice our African spirituality, whatever it may be. They say voodoo is this and Santa Maria is that. But these practices, when we practice it, it wasn't evil. It was healing people. I say that me. See, I want to learn everything that they say about us that comes from us. I don't care what it is. But I know that I'm a divine being. I know that I'm spiritually inclined. I know that I deal with my divine higher self. I don't deal with my lower self. And I deal with every knowledge, information that's on the planet Earth, but I'm in control of myself, and I know that I'm protected spiritually by this energy that I say is the creator and the foundation of my ancestors. Because I'm all that is, because I'm part of that. I'm part of the carbon. I'm part of the melanin. I'm part of every element. I'm part of all the knowledge that's here, because the knowledge of this whole world come from us, that they stole from us. Yeah, brothers, that's right, my brother. He made two statements, and I'll comment on these two statements. The first, he said that we got to believe and fight back with the natural forces. That's what I'm talking about, that divine essence. But we got to get it to a point that we can use it, in this realm, in this dimension. You got to feel it. You got to feel his energy, and you got to be able to control it by the blessings of the divine essence of the creator through our ancestors. We gotta deal with where we was in ancient Kemet when we build pyramids, or here dealing with the Amaleks, them stone figures are here, that, and we deal with that because we use more percentage of our brain. I think they say, we use about 3/10 up to 10, but if we use 100% of our brain, then and we can deal with telepathic communication once again, or levitation once again, because we was there. We were there once upon a time until we came out of the divine essence of who we were when we were killed off and our information stolen and taken from us. We had to go underground with it. And then the other statement the brother dealt with, that we are light beings having a human experience. That is a true statement. We are divine beings. We are part of the energy, the substance of all life. We gotta produce that. We gotta get into it to the degree that we can use who we are and be who we are and be affected, so we can be alchemists. The change and mold and shape and make elements make an element from an element. But we got to have a power, generate that power. We just can't talk it. See, this is what I'm seeking to be. I'm seeking to harness that power, because I know I need another weapon to deal with my natural enemy. I know that I will. I say, Ashe. I want to will into being from the Creator. I want the Creator to enhance me. I want the Creator to use me. I want my ancestors to use me. See, it's not only about the five senses and the joys and the accomplishments and all that. See, I want to go beyond that. My third eye has opened, energy is in me and all that, but I got to enhance it. I got to harness the elements of the natural elements. I got to harness that and arrive in power from that. I like to get more. I got to get back into Phil Valentine, because he has a lot of information based on that. That this dimensions and this energy going to take us up or take us through, or we're going to go through an evolutionary process, those of us who is ready to accept it. Because it's going to be something that we never experienced before. We experienced it so long ago before that it's in the now, let's say in the present state of mind or spirit, we haven't experienced it. But we have experienced it before, because we built pyramids. Or that process of building pyramids, we was in that day and time. And it's ours, because it depicts us. And the thing about it, we got to look at it, man, because it had to be enormous. I mean, even Africa, we got to picture Africa. Africa is enormous. They distort it. They distort that picture, man. America, we can go to America, South America, China, Russia. We can put 7 countries in the continent of Africa. That's how big Africa is. Like putting America, South America, I think China and Australia, and I think a couple of more in that space of Africa. That's how enormous Africa is. But they want to take control of Africa like they control America. We can't let them do that. We got to take back ourselves, our souls, and our minds, and reprogram ourselves, and have institutions so we can program our children correctly of who they are, their story, their history, so they can be reinforced with the evidence of who we are, so that we can develop in our communities and have control of our communities, and economically, spiritually, educationally, and all those aspects. There's a large segment of our people this morning, excuse my language, I mean not my language, excuse me for drinking this water. I'm thirsty, man, whatever. Boy, water, liquid is good for us. And we just got to do this thing here, man. We got to be the warriors. We got to establish in our community. We got to reach our youth, our young adults, so they can stop being at war, a senseless war with each other, killing each other, maiming each other. And they don't know why. We got to ask them that when we communicate with them. We can't be fearful of our youth, man, because they are us. They're a reflection of us. They're the remnants of us that's still here. That, what we done in the past affected them doing in the present. So we, as the people that's on this side of the fence, on this side of this reality, that we haven't conformed, we haven't sold our soul, we haven't integrated or assimilated into this system to where it affects us like that. We are the soldiers of our ancestors. We are the soldier of the Creator. We are the divine soldiers that haven't given in, who haven't give up. We are the soldiers that fight this war on all levels, beginning with ourself. So we purify ourselves so that our purpose will be, and our actions will be, that powerful there, that time. Almost knocked my TV over. But anyway, I can't keep talking because there's so much to talk about. But sometimes you have to, just take a rest and give more information to convey, because this information and knowledge, it seems as though it's redundant, or you reiterate, and that's the way it's got to. I apologize for that, but they done it again or whatever. I don't know. They saying that my application is overheating or whatever. I don't know if my words are doing that or the words of the divine information is doing that, but I humbly apologize for that. And I just want to convey that they did it, wasn't me. I mean, it's plugged in and everything, so I guess that they didn't want me to convey some words. I don't know, because they're in control of this contraption. But anyway, as I end, I just want to say we have to be who we say we are. We got to be about what we say we're about. We got to do this from a perspective of love, of divine love, from learning from this love, being about this love, extending this love. My brother DM, always up, always, having the input of this energy, this synergy, the connection, this lifetime bond that we develop. We have to extend this harmony and peace into our communities with our young youth, young adults that's in the trenches. We need them to develop in those trenches in a harmonious way, in a harmonious fashion, and stop being at war with each other. They live right across the street or down the street from each other, and they want to, harm each other because they don't even know why. I mean, the reality that they do that is not kosher, or it's not realistic, because they are being manipulated and controlled by outside force that want this to go on in our community so that we can't establish community ties. We need to develop, they dealing with economics, but it in the wrong way. If we deal with how they deal with stuff legitimately, if they deal with it legitimately, then it will be better. They can grow from it. They ain't even got to worry about the slave catchers. They ain't even got to worry about each other, because everybody will be working together for the same aims and the same purpose. If we pool our resources, we teach them how to be economically feasible in making investments on a legit side of things. And I ain't even promoting getting dirty money to make it clean money. I'm saying dealing with clean money all the time. If it's just a little, because you're taking a little and dealing with it on the dirty side, make it legit so that you can come out of the state of mind of hurting each other for the little bit that you got acquiring. And we don't control our corners or the street corners. If you live 3 or 4 blocks down the street and the other brother up the street, y'all know each other, go to school with each other, but can't even feel safe around each other, because we're not dealing with the essence of love. We're not dealing with our natural instincts. We're dealing with instincts that's been manipulated and through this social narcotics of white supremacy and institutionalized racism, along with the Willie Lynch syndrome and all that, is generation after generation, and it's instilled. It's the foundation of this nation. See, we have to realize that it exists and white privilege exists, and that it's a buffer to keep. They're not white, they're not Agathos, they're Europeans. Like we can say we black because we come so-called from a black land. That's what it says about the Sudan. But really, in reality, we was here and there. We the original indigenous people of here. The Aborigine people all around the world, we the original. We got to realize that. We got to realize that all this knowledge and everything, the sciences and everything, was stolen from us. See, everything that's taking place now, it stems from the past. It stems from the technology. See, the reality is, we build pyramids, right? And we had tools and all that they don't let us know that story, that essence of that story. And his lies keep his story in the focus of our mind. He tried to keep it in our mind that our time or our existence came from the establishment of coming to this country or coming from Africa as slaves. I'm gone this time, y'all, because they say my application is overheating, so I guess I can't talk no more, but I don't feel no heat coming from it. Even I got to plug in, and it ain't even energizing. But anyway, enough talk for today, and maybe tomorrow we'll be better able to communicate. And I just want to say peace, power, and love. And man, it comes from above, so we can affect the below, and the below got to affect the above. The inward got to affect the outward. The universe got to affect the universe. So when you see somebody today, love them, hug them, and motivate them, stimulate them, and let them know that there's a war going on, and we don't want to be a casualty of that war. We want to be the one to establish peace and harmony in our communities through unity, organization, and establishment of infrastructure. That's what we are about, the warriors of the Creator, the warriors of our ancestors, the people of harmony and peace, to establish peace and love in our communities worldwide. We got to make a connection, and don't stop. Don't never stop in the harmony and peace that's our innate nature, to build upon that. And again, exhale and inhale that breath of life from the Creator. Under the flag of red, black, and green, the hue, the black, us as a race of people, we have to establish a landmass so that we can control and defend here and in Akabu land, Africa. And the blood, we got to stop wasting our blood and disestablish love for each other. And with that, I say until tomorrow, before the sun rises, same time, with the divine mindset, peace and love, and all humble and humility, the warriors that we be in our community. Let's rise up, take control.